A lot of guys can go to the gym regularly and still look skinny fat and not build that athletic physique they've always wanted because they're doing a lot of the wrong things. And essentially, if you're skinny fat, what I mean by that is you look like a melted candle. You have low muscle mass, high body fat, clothes kind of fit you, but you don't feel too good in them or that confident. The biggest reason you don't see any change in your physique, even though you go to the gym regularly, is because you're not focusing on building muscle tissue. That should be your main priority if you do want to have an athletic physique, because building muscle will change your body composition and change your shape. Whereas when you do cardio, you get cardiovascular fit, your fitness improves, which is fantastic and important, but it won't change the shape of your body. And you will just continue to get fitter, and especially if you're just in a calorie deficit and losing weight, you're just going to become a smaller version of what you are now. You're not going to change your shape. So if you want to look athletic and build those big broad shoulders, big athletic chest, abs, you need to do the weights, you need to do the resistance training alongside your cardiovascular exercise. And if you're not building the muscle tissue and every month or every week you're going into a different diet, trying to lose weight and only using cardio as your main source of exercise, essentially what you're doing is you're hammering your muscle mass every time you go into a calorie deficit if you're not doing the weight training. So you're going to be losing more and more muscle every time you diet and don't do resistance training. Even though you're probably running and cycling and doing tons of cardio, you're going to be losing quite a large amount of your muscle mass. So your composition is actually going to get worse over time if you don't lift the weights and you don't lift them regularly enough. Also, you need to make sure that your diet's on point and you're promoting muscle gain and muscle tissue growth, as in eating enough protein to support those training sessions. If you're not eating enough protein, you're never going to retain your muscle mass or build muscle. And if you're feeling skinny fat at the moment and not happy with your body composition, you're probably not consuming enough protein to support your goals. So I'd always start everyone off on about 1.6 grams per kilo of body weight in daily protein consumption, and then increase from there depending on personal preference and progress. And if you are serious about changing your body composition and building that athletic physique, you need to stop with the inconsistency and start getting consistent and intentional with your training every single week, because this isn't going to happen in a short time frame. This is going to take a while to get to where you want to be. So plan out your weeks, when you're doing your resistance training, when you're doing your cardio, how often you can do the resistance training sessions, and I would always recommend doing 3 to 4 per week as a minimum. Also, when you're going to be getting enough sleep to make sure you're recovering and growing. And as I said earlier, you need to make sure you're consuming enough protein and your diet supports the amount of training you're doing and also helps you lower your body fat in a calorie deficit. And you need to be doing that not just Monday to Friday, but Monday to Sunday for weeks, months, if not years, to get to where you want to be, and then continue to do it to keep the physique you want. If you get bored every few weeks of the training program and want to mix it up, or you want to change your diet or jump on the next bandwagon of supplementation just to kind of, oh, I can get there a bit quicker, or that's a quick hack, you're going to be disappointed. I've seen that thousands of times. The only way you're going to get the physique you want, that athletic physique, is to be consistent with the basics and to keep doing them, not just for a few weeks at a time, but for a longer period of time. And then once you get there, you would have built that body up and it gets much easier to maintain. And you don't need to be super strict and live out of Tupperware like a bodybuilder. You can still have the flexibility to enjoy date night, beers with friends, takeaways, whatever it might be, because you're stacking the basics over and over again, week after week, to get to where you want to be. And ultimately, if you follow a diet that fits around your life a little bit better, you're going to be able to maintain your results for the long term. But it means doing the work now and focusing on the basics and repeating the basics over and over again. And with training, you're probably absolutely bang on with your cardio, can run comfortable 10Ks, 5Ks, love a spin class, love a blaze. Whatever you're doing cardio-wise, you've got nailed. But when it comes to the resistance training, you need to be working on your form, improving your proficiency with exercises, and also challenging yourself every single week. The exercise could be the same for months, but as long as you're challenging yourself in terms of the reps and the weight that you're using, don't just go in and do 12 reps with the same weight week after week and expect your body to change. It won't. You'll get to a certain level and then it won't change. You need to go in and start challenging yourself. Okay, I did X amount of weight for 12 reps last week and the week before. It's time to increase the load. I'm going to pick up that heavier dumbbell. I'm going to add an extra plate on. I'm going to challenge myself and not be scared of challenging yourself, because that's where progress lays, outside of those comfort zones. So don't just go in and expect the change to happen by doing the same thing over and over again. You need to keep pushing the weights up. You need to keep challenging yourself. And before we wrap up this video, I just want to quickly touch on expectations, or more importantly, your expectations when it comes to building this athletic physique. Now, a lot of what you see online in terms of these influencers, these athletes that look incredible, that are highly muscled, perform well, run incredible times in certain events, they are athletes, and rightly so, and they work hard. But you've come across their profiles or pages at a certain point in their journey where they've gone from probably doing a lot of weight training, a lot of bodybuilding for many, many years, and then they've gone into running and cardiovascular exercise and endurance events. They've spent the time building muscle tissue up to then transition across to that and do both things. So they're maintaining their muscle that they've built up over time, but also then start training and improving their cardiovascular fitness and become this hybrid kind of athlete. You've kind of met them at a different point in their journey. Whereas you're starting over here on the cardio side of things, cardiovascular fitness, you're in a good spot, but you haven't built the muscle up. So you need to do what they've done. You need to go and start building the muscle and accept that it's going to take some time, similar to what they've done. But also with all of these influences, some of them are enhanced, some of them are taking certain supplements and performance enhancing drugs, which can skew your expectations in what's possible and what you can retain. So always bear in mind that. But having said it, if you put in the time and effort, you can get the build you want and you can maintain it, but it's not going to be a quick fix, and it involves time, consistency, and effort. Well, that's it from me this week. If you found this video helpful and you are tired of feeling skinny fat and want to build some muscle and get that athletic physique, hit the link below to sign up to my coaching program. I'll take you through the next steps. Otherwise, let me know your thoughts and feelings below in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll catch you later.